Hey, NASDAQ, where you get the best dope on the markets. I am your technical analyst host, old floor trading local. And today is Thursday, April 16th, a day after tax day. Okay, so all the people that put their, put their 401k checks in, just think this. Okay, and now that money's going to be invested. It might have been already, okay, but the last date of that, so for the next 2 weeks, you could have some buying in the stock market. Should we look at stocks first here? Let's look at the NASDAQ, okay? Look at this up move. Look at this up move here. This was about 2 weeks ago. This is March 31st. I lied. Today is the 16th. Okay, this is the 17th. See it right there? April 17th. This is the new session. See this nice little trend line right here? We got over it and went up to this trend line. This is NASDAQ futures. Okay, this was pretty darn exact. And actually, this one's pretty exact. Okay, but that's just a trend line off the high. This is October's high. This is what? January's high. And then we got lower on the year. Here we raced higher on the year. Look at this. We just went, and this is my sequence of levels here, okay? So we got a red right here, okay? We got a green right here. We're just looking over here, okay? Here, I got some trend lines down here. Undoubtedly, we were over there, and then it's like over our breakout that you would buy if, in fact, you were to that. Here's one of these blue trend lines. It's a horizontal blue trend line. Ignore them if they're dotted. Anyway, so that's the NASDAQ here, okay? Private credit be damned. Or it's so big that the plunge protection team came in and bought futures markets to spin this thing around. It's kind of hard to be, well, there's no reason to be short it right now, technically, except for these two levels right here, right off the top, okay? So it's like a double top. Here's a triple top. You really don't have triple tops, so this is going higher. I mean, it would seem like we're going higher. Here you can see I have these olive line cells. This is a cell, olive line cell 1, thin, thick olive line cell, okay? It doesn't matter if you don't trade NASDAQ. It's going to be the same things in each chart. You got closed over it here. Here we came back down. 275 half was the low. 10 ticks over this, okay? This is, I talk about the Goldman Sachs olive line scratcher. The guy that sold them here that has unlimited credit. Well, anyway, they scratch it. So here's where we are today. We'll take a peek at some of these other ones. I won't stop on too many here. Here is the S&Ps. There's that olive line. Look at this. This was a couple days ago, okay? So you closed over this olive, and then here it's the low. Just think pivots. You don't have to know that much about them. These would be pivots. And if you're a trader and you have discipline, the most important thing in trading, then you don't care. You just play discipline. You're playing levels. Here, but let's look at bean oil here. This is a big green cell. This will be a green cell. There's an orange up above, okay? See that? At 73. That's 400 higher here than here, okay? But for right now, this was 5 ticks off, and then we sold off for the rest of the day. So this is important. Don't know what happened. We're just going through. I am just going through the charts for you. Let's go to the other side here. We're making new highs right here in meal. So you have soybeans, they crush them, and they get two products. Meal, soybean meal, and soybean oil. Okay, soybean oil's in demand, and the biofuels, and they blend it with crude oil. So that's why that's in favor right now. And here's the meal. The meal is the excess. Except now all of a sudden foreigners love U.S. meal, and there's a lot going on in Argentina and Brazil. Anyway, let me get back to this here. So we got an olive line cell right here, 335, okay? I'm going to approximate these prices, okay? 335, 337, and you got a green up here, okay? See this big green up here? So we got two levels. That'll be, that'll be an important level. Now listen, You cannot rule we blow out. So blow over those. Okay, so for example, if you were to sell it here and all of a sudden it just blows through, okay, it's a warning sign, get out. Okay, and now the professionals, will come back down, we'll test it. I would scratch that trade if it goes through. Okay, now there's one in cattle that we did do that on a daily, except we went over there only for like 60 minutes. So that depends on your trader profile, but that is the main kind of general gist. So here's crude oil here. Let's go to crude oil. Crude was up $5 today. Okay. Let's go to a little bit larger. Okay, this is an intraday. These would be U.S. banking hours. Okay, crude oil. Okay, kind of resembles the old trading pits, the charts, gaps everywhere, and this could be possible head and shoulders top. Okay, this was March 9th. Okay, and then we eventually went up here to this olive line here. There is another setup here. Okay, you got to play each one. Okay, and for this one, we were down like $17. As a matter of fact, no, 117 to 92. Okay, so anyway, so we got to bounce up here right to here on the day session hours here. This green right here, see here it plays. You say, well, they went through there. Okay, well, just learn that they're pivots. Okay, and then right here we gapped up. Here's the day before you gap up. The professional sold the green right here, and then we came back down. And anyway, we got down to 90. Okay, and here's to 95. Okay, it's still a huge 5% move, and that's where we are. I continue to think on any kind of distress and vertical moves up in the overnight, you day trade it, and maybe if you got a cushion, you could take it home short, because one of these times, you'll take it home short on the way back down to 55 or lower. Okay, drill baby drill. So that's crude oil here. Those were two big numbers there too at 90.77. Hang on. This 90.77. Okay. I like these levels a lot, okay, but the thing about stops is we broke $4 through here at night. Here, watch this. My daily chart has so that looked like it was pretty darn exact, and they were during bank hours, okay? That's why you have to know a little bit more. Look at this. These are all gaps right here. We just went down, and in the overnight, okay? So in the overnight, you've got these traders that push, and they pushed it down to, what did we get down to? 87. Okay, 87, $3 under. $3 under. I said $4. $4 under the one at 91.50. Okay, let's go look at soybeans here, because I covered meal and oil here. These are soybeans, and this is July beans. Okay, just take a peek. You can pause on this. Oh, here, July Nove is going down. This might have to do with, actually, I got a lot to say about Brazil and Argentina and fertilizer and things like that, but it's not for here, okay? So there's a lot going on. And that might be a reason why they're buying the November, and all of a sudden the July 26 is going down here. That's the spread. Here is the July beans. Okay, here, hang on. May, I think we got it. Okay, and this is May for some reason. Yeah, that was kind of running a little slow. This is the May beans. Okay, these are getting ready to go in delivery. It's it's the middle of April right now. So we came up to one of these levels over here, and then we just broke about not even $1, and we've been going sideways, kind of over by these highs. Okay, so there's some big decisions, so here, right here, this is really important since it's been the last 4 weeks of highs and this high back here, and we had this little shoot of bullish news. This was China. Okay, and then we set back, but we're not backing off, okay, which would lean bullish, okay. Now, I'm not saying that, I'm just saying it's not bearish, okay. Let's go look at corn here. Corn is, oh, you know what? Let's go to November beans here first, because November beans is what the farmers care about. This is the new, well, this is the new stuff that's not even planted yet, okay? That'll be come due in November of 26. This is what that looks like here, okay? So we're cheaper than what the old crop is, and this is what it looks like. We got a couple small, they're not small, these are not small. 1180 and 1193, these would be a couple olives, but you can see right here, there's something I have highlighted. Oh, there it is, right there. I have this highlighted for some reason. You can see some powder blues over here. Okay, these are going to be the best charts you'll see. Okay, these will be just as good as Goldman's. Yeah, I have no problem saying that. So here, and you can see you get, you just get some things. So when you get over it, if you're looking to buy a break, but in any event here, we have one of these long-term greens here at 1164, and that's been the high here with a little bit of an overshoot right here, and we also have an orange. Okay, these are in November beans. Okay, we're gonna go to corn now. Let's go to corn. This is Dees corn. Okay, so this is like Nov beans. This is the stuff the farmers are just getting ready to plant. Okay, so we got this is $5 up here. Oops, hang on. My scale is off. Oh, goodness gracious. I apologize if my scale's off. I might not even air this if it's too vulgar. Because you know what? The chart takes up the whole thing, and the way the video player picks it up, I lose a little bit on the charts there. I lose a little bit on the real estate. And when you ask why are those numbers so small, because you want to see more of the well, you do. So this is Dees corn here. Let's go to let's go to May corn, because May corn is we're getting ready to come into delivery, but this is going to have the best the detail. And right here, 448 and a quarter, you can see a powder blue. You can see something a quarter cent over it here. Okay, we blew over there 2 days ago. This is a daily chart. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. This is actually tonight's chart here. So we're up a penny here, 47.5 to 49. This is May corn. So this is like spot corn, meaning current, cash corn. So this looks, okay, this was your buy right here. This was a long-term breakout. You held it here. You held it here. Here, you're slicing and dicing. Here, you come back to it. It's another nickel cheaper. And that's an algo move, because when the market comes down to this, the algos will start to accumulate, okay? Possibly, okay? Possibly. But it sure looks like they are here. So I would not sell this short, okay? On rallies, if you're a farmer, yeah, okay. But now we're starting to get into, we're going to get ready to go into summer. So you'd be possibly looking for a summer premium. No reason to sell it in the hole, in my opinion. So let's just take a look at wheat. I'm not going to really comment on wheat. Wheat's a weed, but actually weeds are, there's a few places around the world that are having slight problems. So here's where we are today. Here you can see a couple lines, upward sloping trend lines here. These would be more aggressive. Okay, this is the way commodities are. Okay. You'll rally here. We go up from here, 580 to 610. Come back down here to, you get back under the dollar. You come here, fill a gap. Okay, so, just kind of things if you wanted to learn about that. Here's gold. Should I have let off with the metals? Gold's losing its luster a little bit. Who's long? Central banks are long gold. Okay, I think the risk is that central banks have to sell gold in order to pay for jet fuel that they are currently running out of. Because all the complainers over in Europe, Okay? All the people that don't like America, they're absolutely hosed. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. So airlines are saying that they say 6 weeks they're going to run out of jet fuel. I have no idea, but I say if they're saying 6 weeks, it might be 6 days. So we have a magnetar that's a burned out sun that is like exploding here. And that's not to be confused with Magnetar, the Evanston, Illinois hedge fund, named after a burned out star, the United States, that picked their own portfolio of, oh, geez Louise, I forget, but puts. And then the banks went bankrupt. So, not that Magnetar. But anyway, so here, this is gold. Let's look at it on a daily. Okay, that's where we are. Okay. So here we're coming up, making new highs. Here's the blow off. You get a huge break. There's your retracement. And then you go down one more time and this shakes everybody. This was an olive line I had down here because, okay, here, let's look at it a little longer term. Okay. Notice these diamonds have stopped printing. Okay. I'll blow these up here. This is yeah, right here. Well, you got so many lines. You know what? Here, hang on. Let me show you a free chart. Here's your free chart. There you go. There's the same chart. Well, actually, that's better. Yeah, okay. Okay, but and you know what? Yes, this illustrates I have this programmed in. It's a condition. You can see here, a couple sevens go off here, back in 24. You get the same pattern, the sevens, and you look at this. You got the sevens, and then finally it's negated. Okay? This is gold. Okay? 5,500. Here, what's the range? 54.75 to 41.30, call it. Okay? We're going to approximate. We don't need the exact numbers. Okay? Just for those watching here that just there, you got 5,500 to 4,100. Okay? And now here we are. Okay, so this is, we've cooled the fever. Okay, you got a reversal down monthly. Okay, hang on a second here. Let me change this for a second here. That's a thing of beauty. Okay, is that a longer term chart? Yes, it is, because we don't even see the down. Okay. So this bull market is still intact in this condition, but as you can see in this time frame, my sevens are still counting that condition off. Okay, so and listen, nothing saying you can't go a lot higher. Okay, the way things pan out, but there's a lot of good stuff happening in the country. And all this buying was on this end of the world buying, okay? Like the bonds are going to default, Cloward Piven, which is just like where you overwhelm the financial system and then crash it all, okay? And then everybody gets to buy everything pennies on the dollar. The same reason that Hitler came into power after World War I, okay? Because there were these certain people that bought everything up 10 cents on the dollar. And, 5-10 years later, people resented them and their DEI kind of 100 years ago, exactly 100 years ago. I digress. Let's go on to the markets. Okay, so it's the repeating themes, okay? Just to draw it back in, it's the repeating themes. So here, let me put it on a intraday chart here on this. Let's just see if we, okay, and then just hit enter. Okay, so this would be an intraday chart right here in gold. See how that is? These are CQG charts, okay? And this could break, okay? This could break. We get under here, we get under 47.87. What do I have underneath it? Okay? Not much. The $100. It could go fast. Let's see what's under there, Okay? So, and this would be on the upside. What else do we want to talk about here? Crude, we did. Meal, we did. Let's look at that July. Well, this is the July Dees meal spread. Yeah, this shows that there's demand in the for soybean meal for soybean meal. Here's the NASDAQ. It's a runaway. 26,492 here. What time is it? 17. That's 21. I'm sorry. 721. Okay, so here's where we are right here. 487. We're right here. We're right at this black trend line here. Okay, so I think I did not cover silver. I'm sorry here. This is silver. Okay, this was silver on the 23rd of March, down at 61. We just rallied up to 81. Okay, as you can see here, this is very choppy. Okay, that's the way commodities are. Okay, where you just, so say for example, you wanted to buy this, you'd just be trying to sit here at some of these levels on these breaks. Okay, you're moving up and you're coming down to breaks. Okay, so right here, I got nothing to say here. Here we got a little bit of some levels. Okay, and this right here might be an area here. If you're looking, I had a client that wanted to buy it up here at 81, and I was like, okay, I got 77.10, but we're under 81, and here you can kind of see this here. This was today's action in gold. There's a pattern there, okay? Do you see that pattern? Okay. Okay, I'm going to call this a wrap. Oh, cattle came off all-time highs, and feeder cattle that had an olive line sell in the back months, along with live cattle, same thing, and hogs are getting hit. If you need any of the information on these, email me, ARP, or take a VIP or a pro package, but still email me. I don't check it every day, right? There's only 300,000 people that read Barron's magazines, okay? So this is a smaller crowd. Email me, arp@nasdog.com. Thanks for watching. Always use the risk stop to stop the risk.